What's up, guys? It is Tuesday, January 14th, 2025. As you can see, we're at the Bitcoin block height of 879,301. TikTok next block. Look at these fees, guys. 2 sats per V byte, no priority, low, medium, and high. I mean, you can't beat that. If you guys want to move some Bitcoin, today is the day. Make sure you guys follow me on my socials, Rumble, X, NOSTR, and the like. Also, check us out on the Bitcoin Amigos channel. Me, Jor, Chris. We do a live at 1 o'clock Eastern, 4 o'clock Pacific. You can also check out our music right here. And make sure you subscribe to Chris from Fractal Bitcoin and Jor for the Score at 88 Sats Radio. Chris never misses either. And real quick, guys, people that hold fiat, they look like the regular SpongeBob. Person that has Bitcoin on an exchange, he looks a little better. Holds Bitcoin in self-custody, he's looking pretty good. And then no fiat, air-gapped, open source, careful UTXO management, runs a node over Tor, privacy-focused, DNS plus VPN, Graphene OS, privacy phone, multiple passwords. And that's how he looks, guys. That is the that is the progression of being a full-time Bitcoiner. So let's get on into the price. As you can see, we dipped a couple of days ago, but now we're right back on track. Right now we're over $97,000. So again, we're just cruising, but we may dip down tomorrow, and I'll get into that in a second. And the higher the price goes, obviously we get less sats per dollar. We're getting 1,030 sats per dollar right now, which is still pretty good. Again, guys, anything over 1,000 Satoshis for $1 is an absolute gift. All right, guys, we got a bright light. All right, this right here is investing.com/crypto/Bitcoin historical data. And this shows the history of Bitcoin and the prices. Whatever day you pick, you choose, that'll happen. It'll show up. So you got daily, weekly, monthly right here. And then if you go over here, you pick the dates. It's pretty cool, man. You can actually download it and print it and everything else. And when you're looking at the prices, again, if you're just wondering, oh, what was the Bitcoin price that day? You can just type it in. And there it goes. So it's a pretty cool historical moment. I always do this when I'm watching a YouTube video or something, an older one, and they're talking about what Bitcoin was doing at the time. It was 38,000. I just go back and see what's going on with the price. So yeah, it's a pretty cool website. All right, so now we're going to take a look at companiesmarketcap.com. We got gold obviously at the top. Then you got Bitcoin at number 7. Obviously, it's still there at just under 2 trillion, 1.9 trillion. And we're getting close to Amazon, guys. Can you imagine that, passing Amazon? It's not a company. It's only been around 16 years. Absolutely crazy, man. And then we got bitcoinsperperson.com. I absolutely love this. This is one of my favorite websites, really. This website for me just shows and puts in perspective how rare and scarce Satoshis and Bitcoin are. I mean, look at that. We got 19.8 million Bitcoin out of the growing population of almost 8.1 billion now people. So if you distribute it evenly, which you can't do, by the way, because all these companies have so much Bitcoin, and I'll talk about that later. You can get yourself 244,757 Satoshis for only $236.71. And then you'll get your fair share. And again, that'll be way more than anybody else has. There'll be people, guys, in the future. This sounds crazy, but some people won't even have 20,000 sats. You know what I mean? They just won't. It'll be the money of the future. There'll be fractal sats or micro sats and stuff like that. But having 20 or 30,000 sats in the future in 30, 40 years is going to be a lot. It's like having 20, 30, $40,000 or maybe even more in purchasing power. So yeah, to put that in perspective, that's pretty cool. All right, let's check out bitinfocharts.com. This is the Bitcoin distribution right here. And if you take a look at this, you can just see where you're at on the chart, right? You're like, okay, where am I at? Do I have 10 million Satoshis? Do I have 1% of a Bitcoin, which is right here? This is basically 1 million Satoshis to 10 million Satoshis right here. So yeah, you can look, see if you got 1 million to 10 million Satoshis. Then you got 10 million Satoshis, which is 10% of a Bitcoin, to 1 full Bitcoin. And then you got 1 Bitcoin to 10 Bitcoin. My goodness, because 10 Bitcoin, you're a billionaire. That's 10 billion Satoshis. So see where you're at here on this chart. I'm going to slide this up a little bit. And as you can see, these are how many wallets, addresses richer than $1, 47,658,000. So you can look at all these. Click on Bitcoin UTXOs. You can click on that, the distribution of that. Then you go back. You can click on Dust, which is just little Satoshis left over on on wallets that people can't get to or forgot about and stuff like that. So yeah, this is an incredible website. So check it out when you can. This is another distribution chart or animation where it shows we'll have 70% of the Bitcoin. Now, for those of you that tune in every single day, I know you're like, dang, Jerry, you keep showing the same charts. The reason being is you got to know the fundamentals, right? You got to practice them over and over and over again. Tim Duncan didn't come to the gym and say, oh, why do I got to practice bounce passing again? Why do I got to practice, screening out or boxing out? You got to know these fundamentals, guys, okay? This is part of your Bitcoin journey and studying. So as you can see here, 21 million Bitcoin total. You got 70%. Like I said, this is the most important one, the 70%. We got to keep that number as high as we can, guys, because we cannot let these guys get it from us, because this is the only place they can get it is here. You know what I mean? And we can't have them having more than us. So keep on stacking and keep on hodling. One of my favorite websites, again, is timechangestats.com. As you can see, the dashboard, if you look at the last block here, it'll show the block height, the hash rate, mining pool, block rewards. You click on anything, it just shows you all this stuff, man. And then you got the Bitcoin price and hash rate. As you can see, the yellow is the total hash rate. And again, it keeps going up and up and up. And like Max Kaiser always says, Bitcoin's price always will follow the hash rate. Just pay attention to that. What the hash rate means is how many miners are plugged in and trying to solve for the problem of trying to get a block like here. So we got Ant Pool that won the last block. These are miners. And the more and more people that are plugged into, the stronger the system is, and the more difficult it is to mine a Bitcoin or find that number to try to mine it, because there's so many other miners. And this is why the difficulty adjustment is always getting changed. But right now we're just under 10 minutes. So yeah, this is an incredible tool right here, timechangestats.com. Now we're going to go to timechaincalendar.com. And as you can see, here's the calendar. We got 1,735 blocks left into the difficulty adjustment. So it just started a few days ago. And again, it's 2,016 blocks, which is a fortnight, 2 weeks. Blocks to halving, obviously, every 210,000 blocks is basically 4 years, and we got a lot more blocks to go. We got 170,000 something blocks to go, so we got a long ways to go. But yeah, come to this site, check it out. As you can see, it's got the little scrub block down here. It's got all these indicators over here. Again, if you really want to study Bitcoin, check out these websites, and it'll definitely help you on your journey. All right, guys, we got a bright light, so dim your phones. All right, the fear and greed index right now we're at 70, so we're greedy right now. So again, because the price went up, a little bit from yesterday, we went down to 89,000 yesterday. Now we're up over 8,000 from yesterday, from the day before. So that's pretty cool. It's a gift and a curse, because again, your bags are worth more, but you're getting less Satoshis. And I told you what I do personally is when it gets closer to the green or more green, I buy less. I still do my DCA, but I do less smash buying over here, and I do more smash buying over there in the red, yellow, and orange. All right, let's look at Bitcoin compared to the other cryptos, or craptos, I like to call them. And Bitcoin obviously is number one. It'll always be that way. It's got definitely a way bigger market cap than Ethereum. You got XRP. I mean, guys, this stuff is junk, man. It just is. I know I sound like a broken record, because look, if you look at this right here, Bitcoin market cap dominance is still 58%. So all the craptos put together, it's not even half of what Bitcoin is. And there's 30 something thousand of them, I believe. So again, like Michael Saylor says, there is no second best. Now this chart right here is from CoinGlass. This shows the buys of Bitcoin and what the prices are and stuff like that. So how many Bitcoins you can get at 97,300. You can get 31, because again, this is a scarce asset we're talking about here, right? And this is a really cool, this is like an order book right here. And it shows the green and the red, and you could go over here and look at this. I'm not too familiar with this chart. I'm still trying to learn about it, but basically it shows over here how much Bitcoin these exchanges have on it. And as you can see, it's changing up and down, and stuff is just trading all the time. And again, as I'll show you in the next slide, these exchanges are losing Bitcoin by the week. And when January 20th hits, it's really going to show you that there's not a lot of Bitcoin. And speaking of not a lot of Bitcoin, you got the big boys here, Coinbase. They gained 786 Bitcoin over the last 24 hours, but Binance lost almost 2,000 Bitcoin, right? So these big companies are losing Bitcoin. They're hemorrhaging right now. As you can see, there's a lot of red for these Bitcoin holders, and they also hold cryptos. But as you can see right here, I always show you this chart. This yellow line is the price as it's going up. We're at 97,000 something. Look how much Bitcoin is on the exchange. It's not that much. I'll show you an X post later. A guy was saying that this is the lowest balance for exchanges in a while. So if you guys are thinking about buying Bitcoin, I highly suggest using Bitcoin only companies. I would not be using Coinbase and all this other stuff. And again, if you guys got your Bitcoin on Coinbase, please take it off. I have 3 favorite Bitcoin exchanges I use. I use Bitcoin Well. You can use this promo code to get yourself some free tosses in the well. You don't even have to hold your Bitcoin there. As soon as you buy it, it goes straight over into either a cold storage or a hot wallet. I would definitely use a Lightning hot wallet. You don't want to have crazy UTXO. That'll be a nightmare for you UTXOs if you're doing that on cold storage. Then my second favorite one is Swan. You can get your first 10,000 of purchases for free with no fees, and then you'll get $10 just for signing up. And then for me personally, the Mac Daddy Strike. I absolutely love Strike. It's just the absolute best. And as you can see, all the features on here, this is what the actual website looks like on your phone. Pretty cool. I do hourly right there. And then if you use my code right here, as you can see, we'll both get $100 of free Bitcoin trading. And then after the first week, first 7 days, on your 8th day, you'll get no fees at all. And you can buy every hour on the hour to stack your generational wealth. All right, guys, we got some MicroStrategy news. MicroStrategy plans perpetual preferred stock offering to bolster Bitcoin strategy. Saylor anticipates regulatory changes under Trump, particularly regarding the repeal of the SEC's SAB 121. Benchmark company maintains a buy rating on MicroStrategy with a 650 price target based on projected value. I really believe, guys, that he has some inside scoop on Michael Saylor because, again, he's been friends with the Trumps for 20 years. And I think this is the year that Michael Saylor's MicroStrategy gets into the S&P 500. I mean, it just will, because as Bitcoin's price goes up, MicroStrategy goes up. So again, I think this is a no-brainer. If you got a retirement portfolio, again, this is not financial advice. I would highly consider buying yourself some MicroStrategy. And speaking of MicroStrategy, they now have 450,000 Bitcoin. Oh my goodness, man. 50,000 more Bitcoin, and they'll have 500,000 Bitcoin. My gosh, man. I mean, just think about that. That's a lot of Bitcoin for one company. Countries will never even get that amount that they have. They just won't. So you look at these other companies, nobody's even close. It's just, again, like Michael Saylor says, there is no second best. And with his company, he really means that. There's nobody even close to him. So let's take a look at the Bitcoin ETF holders. BlackRock is obviously number one at 556,267 Bitcoin. They bought 318 yesterday. Fidelity sold off 1,223. So that was a lot. And then Grayscale sold off 960. ARC 21 shares sold 1,000. Bitwise sold 201. But overall, they're still over 1.1 million Bitcoin. I think they surpassed, and they have more than Satoshi, all these companies together. So they're still doing pretty well. Then we got HeyApollo.com. We got their overview right here. You see the fees and everything else for each ETF. Then we got this chart right here. As you can see, iBit's just killing it with the color coding. Fidelity's number 2, Grayscale's number 3. Then one of my favorite animations, the Bitcoin ETF holdings. BlackRock is just killing it right here in the green. GPTC started at 600,000 something, but then they just sold off because their fees were too high. And you just see that animation. I wish I had some music to play for you with it. But yeah, it's just going and going and going. What is this chart going to look like a year from now, man? And again, we're talking about a scarce asset that has a fixed supply. These companies have bought over 1 million Bitcoin in just a year, man. Again, imagine what's going to happen next year. All right, we got the flows from yesterday. Looks like they lost 3,000 Bitcoin total. iBit looks like it's the only one that really did some damage with 300 Bitcoin. Grayscale, BTC didn't buy any. HODL didn't buy any. They're all zeros. They just chilled out. They lost a total of 3,000 Bitcoin, so that's a lot. And then you got the net Bitcoin ETF flows, daily and total date as of January 11th, 2024. January 10th was when they launched it. And then they just go up and up and up. There's some ups and downs on it, just like Bitcoin's price. But as you can see, just like Bitcoin's price is going up and to the right. And again, all these companies combined have over 1 million Bitcoin altogether. Then you got the holdings chart. You got iBit. They still haven't updated this, have they? Nope. 527,000. MicroStrategy's right behind at 450,000 now. So yeah, it's just amazing to see this, man. I mean, again, this is the 1 year anniversary a couple of days ago. And just imagine how many they bought. It's crazy. And the price is not even over 100,000. So again, do I think there's a little bit of funny business with how many Bitcoins they say there are out there? Yes, of course. This is why I tell people just buy your Satoshis and put it away. Don't keep it on exchanges. Don't keep it anywhere else. Just put it in the cold storage. 95 to 99% of it, keep it on the cold storage. The rest of it, put it on a hot wallet so you can zap it back and forth to your friends and stuff like that. So you can play around with it. But again, when you keep it with these ETFs and all this other stuff, it's not your real Bitcoin. So again, man, you already know, not your keys, not your cheese. All right, guys, just a reminder, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. If you haven't already, hit the like button, comment, share, and all that other stuff. Check out my playlist. I got door dashing for Bitcoin. Again, I don't know how long I'm gonna be doing that one because it's a lot of work, but I've been doing videos I've been shooting videos Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and then I upload them Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday. So check those out. And then, of course, you're watching Bitcoin Numbers and News, BNN, and that comes out Monday through Thursday. And then I do a live show with the Bitcoin Amigos every Friday. And then, of course, it's all Bitcoin Signal right here on Satoshi Saturday. So you got me 7 days a week. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. And if you guys appreciate my work, please consider donating to the channel with some Satoshis. That's what I'm working hard for. So we can stack as many as we can, value for value. Just doesn't matter how much it is, just a little here, a little there if you can. But again, in the poor man's plan, you can share the videos and do whatever you can to help out the channel. I really, really appreciate it. I want to react to about a minute and a half of the beginning of Swan's new video, why Bitcoin is the only thing that could prevent currency collapse. I wanted to watch this real quick, and I'll give you my thoughts on it.
We're less than a week away until Donald Trump is sworn in as the 47th president of the United States, and the global economy is quickly deteriorating. The DXY, which measures the US dollar's strength against a number of large-scale global currencies, has been rising to levels not seen since 2022.
Yeah, it's been rising, but the only thing is inside the States, it hasn't been doing too well. It's getting its butt kicked at the grocery store, our dollar. But when you look at the quote unquote Dixie, it's just a more basket of currencies that it's being compared to. There's 6 other ones, so it's 7 total with the dollar. And of course, the dollar is the cleanest shirt in the dirty hamper. But again, inside America is getting its butt kicked. It is the strongest fiat currency in the world, but we already know it's nothing compared to Bitcoin.
Markets have rallied since late 2022, partially because everyone believed that we had seen a peak in dollar strength and a peak in bond yields. But now global yields are surging towards new highs despite the Fed cutting rates, which is signaling to investors that the Fed may be forced to slow or stop cutting rates completely. If rate cuts are slowed or stopped, that means the cost to borrow money will remain higher for longer, which translates into people selling assets into dollars, which further strengthens the dollar. Most investors had expected long-term bond yields would fall once the Fed started cutting rates, but the exact opposite is now happening. Could this be a sign that investors have lost confidence in US bonds due to extreme fiscal deficits and the ever-ballooning debt? If so, this could be signaling fears of an all-out currency crisis. If it's allowed to continue without any intervention, the trend of dollar up, assets down will likely only accelerate. And add fuel to the fire, the Fed is announcing a new inflation print tomorrow, and many are expecting inflation to continue to rise.
That's a big deal. You know, even though we don't try to play the fiat games, if this happens, let's just say Bitcoin's price is probably going to crash tomorrow a little bit. And again, we don't know that for a fact. This is not financial advice, but I would get ready for this if you're trying to buy a little bit of a dip. Again, it's not guaranteed, but more than likely it will. So this is why I wanted to show this clip. So yeah, I'm trying to get it. I'm trying to pile up as many these fiat dollars that I can so I can buy the dip if it happens.
Which could force the Fed's hand on future interest rate decisions and cause further bleeding in markets. So what can Trump do to fix this situation?
So yeah, so Trump is caught in between a rock and a hard place because he's going to be adopting one of the worst economies in U.S. history. And again, I'm not trying to get political here, but you already know what the pundits are going to say. If when Biden wins in office, they're going to say, well, inflation doesn't exist. But as soon as Trump comes in office, they're going to say what? Oh, inflation's bad and all this other stuff. Luckily, Trump is a Bitcoiner. I think he really is a Bitcoiner. And we'll see what he's going to do. But again, I'll tell you at the end of the video, there's only going to be one way for Trump to pay off his debt and lower inflation. And I think you guys know what it is. We got some adoption news. Political strategist Samuel Arms reports that Florida will establish a strategic Bitcoin reserve. That's big news, man. A lot of the states in our union here in America are doing their own strategic Bitcoin reserves. So this is pretty good. So again, we're talking about Trump doing it on a federal level, but we got the states in America doing it as well. All right, guys, we got a bright light. All right, we got Mark Zuckerberg here with Meta. The inclusion of Bitcoin in reserves. The proposal was submitted by a member of National Center for Public Policy Research, the same think tank that sought similar initiatives for Amazon and Microsoft. A Meta shareholder is proposing the company invest some of its 72 billion cash pile into Bitcoin. The idea is gaining traction among Bitcoin enthusiasts and financial analysts who see it as a way to hedge against inflation and decrease share value. Guys, listen, I don't know if you know this, but Zuckerberg or Zuck, he's been working out. His testosterone's been going up. He's been hanging out with Trump, hanging out with Elon Musk, hanging out with Dana White, and all these guys are Bitcoiners, man. So if Facebook Meta buys Bitcoin, watch out. That's really big news. We got some more news here. A massive volcano is responsible for mining 474 Bitcoin in El Salvador. Here's how. This case shows how Bitcoin mining can be done in a socially and environmentally responsible way. Look at that's beautiful. Bitcoin mining in El Salvador has been significantly successful in recent months and is powered by a surprising source of energy, Earth itself. So, yeah, we can just tap into natural resources. And again, I know people think Donald Trump is crazy for buying Greenland, but we got volcanoes all over this country, and there's other places in the world that America could take advantage of this. And if we could take advantage of Mother Nature with volcanoes and waterfalls and stuff like that to mine Bitcoin, why not? Bitcoin technical indicator predicts Bitcoin price cycle top in summer 2025. So this article is basically saying that the peak of this crazy bull run that we're going to be on is going to peak in the summer of 2025. I don't know if I necessarily agree with that, but you let me know in the comment section below. What do you think our peak is going to be in 2025? Now, I talked about this earlier when I showed you the coin glass chart here with the Bitcoin on the exchanges, the balances. And according to Vivek, Bitcoin balance on exchanges just hit a new low. Supply shock incoming. Yes, I agree with that. That's crazy. I mean, look how far down it is. I showed you this earlier, but look at that. I mean, once it gets under 2 million, watch out. From Swan Bitcoin, new Italy's largest bank, Intesa Sanpaolo, just bought 1 million worth of Bitcoin. They stacked the dip. Did you? I did. I sure did. And that's more adoption news, guys. Everybody's going to buy Bitcoin. I don't call anybody no coiners or Bitcoin haters or no coiners or whatever. There are no such thing as no coiners, in my personal opinion. We're all pre-coiners. You know, when I wasn't buying Bitcoin, look at me now. I'm buying it every day, every hour on the hour. So when people start figuring this thing out and figure out what the problem is, the only solution is Bitcoin. All right, this video right here is a 60-second video of Michael Saylor's greatest hits. Let's take a look.
What happens to all these wonderful models if 10 billionaires decide to buy $1 billion of Bitcoin each and announce we bought it? We're not ashamed of it. We're going to buy more. All your models are destroyed, completely devastated. Bitcoin goes to the moon. Which one's the best crypto asset? Well, Bitcoin's the best crypto asset. What's the second best? There is no second best. There's no second best crypto asset. There's a crypto asset. It's called Bitcoin, right? Right? There's no second best. Okay? It's not like Google and Facebook. So let me say it a different way. Okay. People that use fiat currency as a store of value, there's a name for them. We call them poor. Take all your money, buy Bitcoin, then take all your time, figure out how to borrow more money to buy more Bitcoin, then take all your time and figure out what you can sell to buy Bitcoin. The point is, if you have the superior asset, it's going up forever, Laura. Forever.
Right.
It's going up forever, Laura. God, that gave me chills, man. That dude is such a Chad. Michael Saylor, you are an absolute legend. All right, guys, just as a reminder, this is why we Bitcoin, 36 trillion in debt. This is for our grandkids, our great grandkids. They're going to have to pay this back unless we do something, unless we put a stop to this, right? There's only one way, guys, to stop this inflation. Like I talked about earlier, Donald Trump is getting ready to take office here in less than a week, and he's coming into a really, really messed up system. His back is going to be against the wall as soon as he comes in. Yeah, he can fix the border. He can fix some things that I'm against and stuff like that. But there's nothing going to fix this broken system. Nothing. There's only one way. We have to hit the reset button and start all over because this financial system is done, right? We got to start a whole new one. We have to start a whole new one, guys. This is it. This is it. And as you see the inflation numbers and the interest rates, and you just saw the debt and everything else, there's only one way that we're going to pay off that debt and lower inflation. And I think you guys already know what it is. It's the best way to save. And for me, the only way to save. And that's Bitcoin. I love each and every one of you, and I'll talk to you soon. Peace and love, guys.